Hey guys, this is Will from the 4Plot Podcast, reminding you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us by searching 4Plot on YouTube. That's the number 4, P-L-O-T, no spaces. There you can find some reviews we do, different fun videos that we post, and you can also listen to the podcast right there in YouTube. So, go to YouTube, search 4Plot, that's the number 4, P-L-O-T, and subscribe. And now, on with the show.
First of all, old people were on the screen. It was all these older people, all these 50-plus people who were
You guys
like,
didn't know Will's ageist.
what? No,
What's
ageist.
up, man? Old people can't do anything
It was
anymore.
all these 50-plus people, and they're like, we have put in the neck. I'm just kidding about that. we got Master Roshi out there. Be like, oh, the next Xbox. That's a terrible Roshi. Greetings, people of the internet. Welcome to another episode of the 4Plot Podcast. Tonight, around the microphones, we have Mike,
Yellow.
Trevor,
Hey,
Don't use my name.
just mute. Why don't you want to use your name?
That's not my real
the
name.
suck
Okay,
zone.
fine.
You can edit that out later.
Okay, I'm not going to edit it out later. I don't
Suck
understand.
zone one,
Fine,
baby.
fine.
Are you ashamed to be?
I am ashamed of my name.
Ashamed of your name?
Yeah.
Okay, make another name. What's your name now?
Zulu.
Zulu. Okay, cool. We have Zulu
Old Zoo.
on the microphone. Okay, cool,
Our boy
awesome.
Zoo.
Oh God. Okay,
How about Zuko?
Zuko. That sounds good too. I
Ooh.
like
Love-
Zuko. Oh,
Little
that's
Avatar.
that's
I
cool.
love
I like
Avatar.
that. I like
Well,
Zuko.
Avatar throwback.
Zuko
Man,
is
and
cool.
they're talking about doing a show on Netflix.
Live
They
action.
are.
Is
All
it
right.
live action? Is that what it is?
We haven't even jumped into this podcast yet, and we're already throwing
This has
stuff
nothing
out.
to do with what we're
Bro,
talking
Nothing to do with what
this
we're
is our
talking about.
E3 show.
I think we talk about this a little bit.
This is our Well, I don't think we should. I
I
think
know Avatar. I've seen every episode.
You know how you said you weren't going to talk any louder? I already have to turn you down. Like, I already have to turn you down. All right, and I'm Will. We didn't even get to that last part. I'm Will, and welcome to the 4Plot Podcast. Tonight it is our E3 recap show that we are taping here on what is it today? Tuesday? Is today Tuesday? It's Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. So E3 is not actually over yet, right? E3 goes to the 13th technically.
No, man, they pre-record all this. This all happened a month ago.
Well, okay, yeah, that's great. But it technically goes until the 13th. So there may be some stuff that we haven't heard yet, but this was the night we could get together and record, so we figured we'd cover
I
up
feel
some
like
of
this late in the game, they're just doing like the weird stuff, the weird
Yeah.
studios.
But here's the weird thing to me about E3, and we can just jump right in, is that E3, so you guys know, so I was able, this past week I got to go to EA Play, and I was in LA, and they had all the banners all the way across town.
Ooh,
I just wanted to slide that in there real quick.
fancy.
I was waiting for Mike to make fun of me for it.
It's fine, man. I'm happy for you and your accomplishments.
Thank you, man. It's not really a compliment shot. I was working. So the point is that I still got to go enjoy the show, but I was working. So the thing is that there's
Did you get to meet Trevor Noah?
I did. Well, when I say meet Trevor Noah, I said, "Hey, dude, love your work," and he goes, "Oh, thanks, man," and like high five ish. But it wasn't like
He was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
yeah.
Wow,
he
I
was.
bet
that's my
that was
best
a
Trevor
special
Noah.
moment for you, man.
It was a special moment for me.
That's awesome,
Anyway,
dude.
so we'll cover EA Play a little bit later. But E3, there's banners all the way around town, like, oh, June 11th through 13th, and then they start dropping stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I didn't understand. Like the Microsoft stuff dropped what, Sunday night was the first thing? Was
Yeah.
Microsoft? Yeah, and
The
then
Sunday afternoon.
yeah. And it feels like everybody's doing their own thing now. It's like it's E3 week, but but I think Microsoft's the only people that presented at E3, right?
Well, I mean, since everything is so like online now and instantly, like
And independent.
why run the risk of being super awkward like they almost always are?
Oh, yeah.
Why not just pre-record it like Nintendo has been doing for like 5 years?
There's
Yeah.
nothing quite like every single year watching the E3 cringe compilations.
Oh man.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, some of my favorite content on the internet.
Oh yeah. What was it a few years ago? They played some like random Xbox game that no one even bought, but they brought out like two of the developers are the ones who like showed it on the floor, and it was just the most awkward. They were like clearly scripted.
Dude, when they played the Watch Dogs like on stage demo and it glitched out and the van got stuck on the wall.
Dude,
You never seen that clip?
I was
It's
about
incredible.
to comment on that, man.
Bro.
That's my favorite thing that can ever happen at E3 is just
It is a miserable failure.
I can't even watch it.
Yeah.
I
Big
literally have to have it
failures.
muted until the trailers come on, and then I turn it back up. Like it's so bad.
There's always some kind of dance number happening
Oh, yeah.
during Nintendo's
Oh.
press conference.
Oh yeah.
And it's always it's always bad.
And it's just like I love Microsoft, But how many years are we going to be like, coming next year or coming like this September, psh, some Forza game. Here's a cool car behind the wall.
Every single
And it's
year.
like, it's the
So
same
true.
McLaren every year. I'm like,
By the
dude,
way,
I get it.
the
It's
big expansion for Forza announced at E3 was a Lego.
the Lego. Okay,
expansion.
but
Uh.
that stuff's cool to me, man. Like that.
okay,
Like
okay.
I'm just saying it's cool. I mean, we can disagree to disagree, but like it's cool for
I just thought it
me.
was funny.
Well, it's funny, but like I'm like that's interesting. You know, like they did the Hot Wheels thing, they've done the Lego thing. You know, like that's
They did do the Hot Wheels
that's
thing.
fun
right.
stuff. Anyway,
It's
we're
cool
gonna,
to you.
we're-
It's
we're-
cool
we're-
to my kids, man. You guys
we
both
can
got
play
that in common,
together, man. You know, it's great. We're jumping a little bit ahead here, but let's go ahead and recap some of the stuff that came out. We won't, of course, won't cover every single thing here. That'd be a 2.5-hour podcast, and we just don't have that kind of time.
We can do our
Um,
tops.
We could do tops, but let's go ahead and cover a few things. Who wants to jump in? Just something that they saw that got announced, they were really excited about, something that they were.
So pre E3, probably because of a leak. I don't even know, but by far the thing I'm most excited about that came out of sort of E3 season was that they announced that we're finally, after like almost a decade, making a Baldur's Gate 3. And I grew up on the Baldur's Gate games. Me and my brother Matt, who's also a guy on this, on our team. We grew up playing that game, and one of my most beloved game franchises of all time. It's actually based on Dungeons and Dragons, so like
I didn't know
Wizards of
that.
the Coast makes it.
It's double nerdy, man.
It's double nerd.
The trailer with the mind flayer where he takes that guy over was real cool because I think
It
people,
was amazing.
people were worried that the developers what's the developer's name? Do you remember?
I'll find it for you here.
Wait, like their actual names, like the company.
No,
who
the
they-
company.
Okay.
Because they're the one that's
What were those
that do
developers'
Divinity
names
Original
again?
Sin. People were really worried that it would not have like the darker tone that Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
has. And then the trailer's
then-
just this dude getting his face eaten by
Have you seen the trailer?
an alien.
No,
It's
I have never.
Incredible.
I have never played a minute of Baldur's Gate. I don't
You ever
even.
played Diablo?
I don't even know. No, I've not played Diablo.
So imagine Baldur's Gate 2 is pretty much like widely regarded as the quintessential like top-down co-op RPG.
either. Okay, so we're talking about like because Diablo is this too. It's the whole like you're a little character, like you're like way up and you're going around and you're kind of battling. Is it like an RPG where it's like there's hit points and you?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you have abilities and you get like
Okay.
armor with perks and stuff.
That sounds
It's
fun.
imagine yeah.
Yeah, it's like a forefather of like a lot of those games.
Okay,
Basically.
gotcha.
Baldur's Gate 2.
Okay.
one of the best.
I'd,
games.
Yeah,
I'd,
it's kinda
I'd be
interesting
interested
'cause
in checking that out.
I did not know that Trevor was that into those types of games, but
I mean, those seem like
It's cool.
those seem like fun multiplayer.
I would
you know
play.
What I'm
I would play Diablo with you guys.
I have Diablo 3. I'd play that. I
I
went
don't
through
have-
it. It's,
I don't have
it's
Diablo
kind of
3.
fun and it's not
Is
too
it-
stressful. You
saying?
just
Yeah,
gotta,
Is it a Game Pass game?
you don't
Can I
have to
get-
take it too
how
seriously.
do you
that's
not
what-
have any of the games
I
at this
don't,
point?
man.
Are you sure you don't want to check?
any
Like,
of the
double check, man?
games?
you might want to go check your collection in there.
You
make
about
sure
to
you
hit triple digits on that ready
Uh,
to install page, man.
don't- I already have triple digits on the ready to
Oh,
install
so
page.
it's
Oh,
Lar-
I'm sorry, I meant 4. I thought you were in the thousands.
No,
at
yeah,
this
no.
point.
My ready to install page is like 270 something at this
So it's
point.
Larian Studios, and it's the like
Yes.
like you said before, it's the same guys who made Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, and Divinity Original Sin 2 has like an unbelievable score.
Yeah,
on
I really
Metacritic.
wanted to play that. I just haven't.
It's
had
like
a
in the
chance, so.
90s on Metacritic. It's
Really?
gotten incredible. Yeah,
Well,
that's
great.
That one I didn't find myself like getting super excited about because it has more of the real time strategy style of combat,
Okay.
whereas Baldur's Gate games are true like action RPGs.
Gotcha. All right, so Baldur's Gate 3, that's
Yeah.
one. Anybody got anything else that they saw that was exciting to them that they got it really really jazzed about over the last few days?
I really was. I mean, I already knew this was coming out, but I'm excited for the next Ori game, The Will of the Wisps.
You like those games?
Yeah. Did you ever play the first one?
They're gorgeous games.
Oh,
man.
it's beautiful. I mean, I like platformers. I grew up playing
Yeah.
Super Mario games. I think it's clear that they have a lot bigger budget because even just the trailer, like a lot more happened in that trailer than the entire first game. But it's it'll be fun. But
Okay.
I already knew that was coming out, and it's still not coming out for like another year. So
It's definitely one of the most original games that I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about some of like the bigger drops. Like let's talk about we were
What was the top for you?
Oh man, a top for me. I mean, I'm okay. So I'm not trying to like name drop here and like, oh, I went to EA Play and I did all this stuff.
No, dude, go for it, man.
But I did have the chance to get.
Will, you went to EA Play, man?
Shut up. I did have. I'm sorry. Shut up, Zulu. I did have the opportunity. I did have. Shut your mouth. I did. I did have the opportunity to go to EA Play. And it was awesome. I thought it was excellent. It was so much fun. And they actually showed the gameplay for Jedi Fallen Order. and they actually had a separate.
So
Okay,
awesome.
they actually had a separate deal where you could go and like watch extended gameplay, and it looks. Man, it's so good. It looks like a combination of like so the part, and this is fun. I didn't get to see. Actually, I was kind of in the middle of doing something while I was there, and they only showed it like it's so much easier to, by the way, to watch these press things like from your computer, and you get to see all the nice like I'm not there in this like 88-degree like sweltering weather trying to watch it on this giant LED screen. So the
I was
part,
going to ask you what the weather was like because it's like all outside.
Oh, in LA, it was beautiful and like 70 degrees and breezy every single day of setup, and then literally Saturday and Sunday it was sweltering hot.
Oh,
like it was,
gosh.
but I mean it was fine. So the point is that EA did a great. I thought the event was excellent. They do a great job of like, I mean, what they were able to build with shipping containers and like the way they do their gameplay reservations is so much fun.
It
Like
looked awesome.
it was very, very, very fun. But going back to the point, Jedi, I don't know what they showed on the stream. Did you guys watch the gameplay
Yeah.
they showed on the stream?
They showed like
Yeah.
that little. It's like that's sort of like half that little mission.
Right.
Basically, you got enough to get like a real sense of how the game's gonna feel.
So they showed him fighting the Death Trooper, the
Yeah.
black. Okay, that was cool. Did you see him climbing the AT-AT? Did they
Yeah.
show that? Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. So like it's to me it was a.
I have a question.
Yes,
Is it AT-AT or is it at?
man. I
Because I've always said AT-AT, and then I heard someone
Do
say
people
at,
say
at.
at?
It's
people
gotta
say-
be. It is a
people
thing.
say at bro,
And you
They
look
do.
it up, and you're like, I didn't know that these people existed.
People say
and they
at.
exist en masse, man. Like there's so
no
many of them.
way.
I mean, they
Oh,
shouldn't
nope,
exist.
They
Yep.
should not exist. No, it's AT-AT.
It's
Yo,
an abbreviation.
Yo, hit us in the comments and let us know if you say. And let us know if you say at because if you do,
say AT-AT or you say it the wrong way.
Here's
Let
why I
us
think
know.
it's funny
because if
because
you do, you're probably
it
getting
should
blocked.
be AT-AT because what is it? Is it at?
AT.
It's for the ATST.
Oh, the ATST.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it at?
Well, it's an
Etst.
abbreviation. I don't remember what it is. Isn't it all-terrain?
Right.
Something,
Right.
something?
But when you
All-terrain
usually
attack?
All-terrain, all-terrain.
Tyrannosaurus.
Usually, when you abbreviate stuff, you use
No, it's
the letters.
it's an all-terrain attack terrier. That's
There you
what-
go.
Unless
there
it
you go.
spells out
Yeah,
like a
nice.
nice word.
Yeah.
And at isn't a nice word.
Right.
All-terrain armored transport.
Yeah.
Correct, yes, we
so
know that it's named for
definitely
that.
an AT-AT, not an at. But there are
that-
people who say that.
Look it up.
Yikes.
People say it that way.
So he's climbing the at, and it's like very looks like a mixture of it's a mixture of course Titanfall with the wall running.
Sure.
You got a little bit of like the Assassin's Creed
third
deal
person.
with the
Yeah, yeah,
climbing,
yeah.
third person, right? Dude, here's what I love about it, and we'll just leave it at this. Every piece of gameplay that I saw, extended gameplay and what they showed, is that Respawn does a really good job with like Apex and Titanfall. Their games, dude, are smooth. They're like silky smooth.
It looked like a
games.
cinematic.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, but like think about how like when I play Titanfall, I like to say like the controls to me the best way to describe them, they're just smooth, man. Like the wall running, the shooting, the like zip
ADS.
lining.
I think that Respawn does a good job, kind of like what Nintendo does, where they prioritize the game playing well
Right.
over it looking necessarily like they'd rather have a more stylized look.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it didn't look as realistic as like the Star Wars Battlefront games. I don't think.
I will look.
It was a little.
a little more artistic.
I guess, yeah.
But-
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying
No,
they
yeah, I agree.
prioritize the gameplay.
Totally agree. The Battlefront games are gorgeous.
They
And,
really are.
I mean,
beautiful.
the beautiful, realistic games look great for cutscenes, or when
Right.
you're slowly panning on a like
Right.
on rails
on
trailer.
a skybox.
Yes, but
You
when
know
you
how much
actually
it'll
play,
list-
you'd rather have it play smooth.
Right, but I will tell you, the second you've ever tried to play as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader in Battlefront, you have immediately felt the clunky
it's a
chunkiness.
mess.
It's a mess. It's not the lightsaber motion is not fluid, and that's what you want Star Wars for.
Those games were terrible, man.
Yeah,
they were executed so poorly.
That's
that
what-
makes me sad.
Right, that's what you want Star Wars for is the lightsaber
Let's
stuff.
get
right?
let's
And
get it
looks-
real. As far as mechanics go, Force Unleashed is where it's
Okay,
at.
so so this game looks very much like Force Unleashed lightsaber play. Like it's
That's what I'm
very
talking
very
about.
good. yeah.
Nice.
Did you ever play those?
I played some of the Star Wars games. In a Star Wars game, I want lightsabers, and I want some awesome like flying sequences where
Yes,
you're either
yes.
in a
Yes.
TIE fighter or
Rogue
you're
Squadron.
in an X-wing
I
or
gotta
something
be
like
honest,
that.
I was terrible at it, but I really do like the Fighter Squadron Battlefront like game mode. I really do like that a lot.
Dude, when you were playing Battlefront 2, like original Xbox, PS2, Battlefront 2, and you were like flying around and you could fly into the other person's ship, and like land inside the ship, and then your guy got out, and like you could go fight people. That was so awesome.
Wait,
if they
what?
could,
Man,
if they
those
could
games were
have,
great.
if they
That
could
one,
make a
oh.
good open world
never
Star
played it.
Wars game, they could make a good open world Star Wars game. I'd pay a monthly fee for that.
Yeah, I mean, like, so
Like an MMO.
No, like an open world, like first person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like a Skyrim.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Situation.
like it's like
Yeah.
an MMO FPS, but it's like open. Everybody's on the same server, kind of like Sea of Thieves.
They definitely had that. That was
Oh,
called
okay, gotcha.
the Old Republic.
yeah, Old
It
Republic
was definitely like
But the Old Republic's more like WoW, though, right?
yes.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm talking. This is
I don't think we've had a Star Wars game yet, especially for the Jedi ones. I mean, you could say maybe Force Unleashed, but at least in the newer generations where it's really captured that feeling.
no, it
I feel
has
like the
not.
Battlefront games looked really good. They
Yes.
looked like
Yeah.
they should,
Yes.
but you didn't really feel like you
Right.
were in.
The
I-
Force Unleashed
think-
games were really fun, but they were so linear.
Yeah, Force Unleashed games are super fun. I like the storyline behind it. I mean, it was kind of weird and odd, and I don't probably not canon at all anymore. But here's what I'm excited about. This game looks good. This game looks like a winner.
This game is in canon.
Okay, was Forrest Whitaker in the gameplay?
yep.
Okay, yeah, so he was there. And I think the way they're going with the story, and this is a little side note. You know what I'm really excited about? They're putting a lot of emphasis on BD1, who's the droid that he has on his back. And Respawn, their narrative storytellers are very good at making machine inanimate objects part of like the storyline.
Absolutely.
Titanfall 2's campaign.
Titanfall
Great at
2's
that.
campaign, excellent. They're doing the same thing. The
Love
gameplay,
it.
the gameplay footage I got to see, it's like he talks to his little buddy, and you already feel like it's like a little
A
like, oh,
connection.
that's his
Yeah,
little buddy.
he says something like, "No, we can't do that again." When they,
Right.
Like yeah.
That's cool.
It's fun.
And,
So,
like,
by the way, Saw Gerrera sounds like Forrest Whitaker.
it may be.
It may
Or just a
it may
really
very
good-
well be.
Really,
That
Forrest
did
Whitaker, like the character in
that-
Rogue One. that
yeah,
he played?
yeah.
yeah.
that Disney money, man,
terrible
movie, man.
maybe locked him up for the video
And
game.
dude, I'm excited about Cameron Monaghan. That he's the guy. He does Joker in. He's Joker in Gotham. He's the guy.
Is there
who's-
anybody
Oh.
that doesn't play Joker in something at this
Yeah,
point?
I
Good
know.
lord!
There's so many Jokers.
Like every
I didn't
time I
realize-
talk,
I didn't put two
either
and
it's
two
Matthew
together though.
Mercer or it's somebody who's played Joker.
Yeah. So Cameron Monaghan is the guy,
Or
which I thought,
both. No.
which I thought was good.
I'm excited for Joaquin Phoenix though. Man, if he's not the best actor alive right now,
I saw
seriously.
something online. How cool would it have been if they just showed the trailer and it's him like going crazy and like people would see it because it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep.
And they didn't tell you it was a Joker movie until you got in the theater.
That
Dude,
would have
yeah.
been
Brilliant.
awesome.
They could never do that, but
Yes.
that would have been so cool.
But
Brilliant.
they could, man. But
They really could do that.
But they could, because here's the deal: they would show that people would go see it, and then opening night, people would be like, "Holy, this is a Joker movie." You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and then they would go and tell their friends, or maybe
And
there'd
guess
be
what?
something where they
The-
would have some reason to be like, "Hey, just go see it and trust
The
me."
press just takes care of itself at that
Yeah.
point.
Yes,
The
it
very,
does,
very
yeah.
like grassroots kind
Oh,
of advertising.
That's what Cloverfield did. Nobody knew what Cloverfield was.
Come
Like,
on, high five
nobody-
in the studio right
Nobody
now.
knew what Cloverfield was before it came out. Like it was just this really weird
Dude,
trailer.
don't even get me started on Cloverfield, man. I can
Anyway,
talk about
well, we can't
Or
talk
The
about Cloverfield.
Village.
This is our
Man.
E3. This is
well,
our,
it also was kind of new with its like found footage type of
Yeah.
Yeah.
filmography.
This is our E3 show. So yeah, I'm excited about.
Back
I'm
to
like-
Saw Gerrera,
I'm,
man.
I'm excited about.
know harness the power
of the
Black
Rogue One.
I'm
God.
sorry, man. Forrest Whitaker's West African accent is terrible, man. I'm
My
sorry.
God. So let's talk about a few of the bigger things that got announced.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's talk about it.
Did you have a favorite, by the way, from E3?
Yeah, man, I like that game that they put up on the screen.
Okay.
All right, I mean, didn't really see anything new, but it reminded me of how much excitement I have for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh man.
That game is the only game that I'm really looking forward to. Like, I have to get that like day one,
Oh,
which
yeah,
I
dude.
knew.
I'm definitely picking that up
I
day
knew
one.
from the previous when they released 45 minutes of the gameplay footage. Oh, I was just
What
like,
is
I
a
want it.
cyberpunk?
Okay, so
Blade Runner, baby. It's Blade Runner vibes
basically,
all
yeah.
day.
So it's based off of a tabletop game, like a D&D style game.
I did not
But
know
the
that.
idea is that
Like
it's
that.
in 2077. At that point, basically, like corporations own everything, and everything costs money, and it's kind of like a dystopian future type of vibe.
Love
Very,
dystopian
very
futures,
Blade
big time.
Runner. It just is so different. The theme.
Hey, you ready? So I'm going to speak your language real quick, Andrew.
Speak it.
Cyberpunk 2077 is Altered Carbon the game.
Okay. Altered Carbon, the TV show.
Yeah.
I know it's the E3 series here. I mean, whatever.
No,
show
but
we're calling
I'm
this here.
explaining it to you that way because I know you love that show.
That
We both
Altered
love that
Carbon,
show.
Man, that show
It is
better
literally
go
Altered
the
Carbon, the
distance.
video game.
Is it that good?
Oh,
oh,
it's
Will.
that good.
Will.
It's
You have to watch that.
I'll start
series.
watching.
I think
I don't know,
it's
what is that? I've
it's
never
a-
heard of that.
it's a
Guys,
Netflix-
are you serious?
It's a Netflix
good
series.
original. And I don't know if it's based on a book or anything. If it is, then I feel really stupid. But
All right, Mike, let me
holy
speak your
crap.
language, man. All right, Mike, let me speak your language, bro. Altered Carbon is Cyberpunk 2077, the TV show.
Rotated in his seat. So they put a hand on my thigh and
This-
said, "All right, let me
This
learn
show
you
is the
something."
best.
Tell you a
kept-
story.
It's the best kept sci-fi secret, man.
Let me tell you something, son.
That-
Jesus, man.
It's
bridging the
excellent.
gap over here.
It
Trev.
is
I'll have
excellent.
to check it out
Okay.
because I'm really excited about
We're
that
really
game.
bonding right now.
Yeah, Altered Carbon. Okay, I'll check it out.
Some
Hey,
of
you
the
know-
acting
hey.
is some of the acting is a little but the story
So
is
it's, a so it's a Netflix show.
Yes.
Another little quick
yeah.
Netflix
I
is
gotcha.
putting money in.
No-
I'm not
another-
trying to
The
derail
special
this, but
effects, though, unbelievable.
the special effects are great.
Narrative.
The original story. I mean, there's some things that are kind of obviously taken from other places, but the way that they mesh it all together is just brilliant. You have to see it and just
Okay.
watch the first episode. It'll get
Okay.
you hooked.
I'll check it
another,
out.
Another small plug. Don't have small children around, but along the same lines of great like sci-fi storylines, go watch. I think it's called Love, Death, Robots. On,
Very good.
Heard about it.
yeah.
It's on the list.
Back to E3. Let's talk about one thing I was a little frustrated about as we sat down to talk about it. The fact that Xbox announces their quote unquote next console,
And
it's
Sony,
like,
Sony did the same
yeah,
with about as much detail.
right. Phil Spencer walks out. He's like, and now Xbox's next console, and everybody's like, oh man, God, dude, the past two generations, they did the same thing with Xbox One X, which everybody was like, oh man, Project Scorpio. Oh, this is the next Xbox. Well, it was just your same Xbox with a bunch of teraflops, and that whatever nobody knew what a teraflop was. It's like, oh, teraflops.
What's a
But this
teraflop?
one has a lot of them.
I still don't know what a teraflop is.
They chose it. They called it teraflop.
It's
Oh,
it
it
is
is a unit of memory called a teraflop.
it's
Man,
stupid.
It's a computational an amount of computational ability.
It definitely
but-
flopped. That's for dang
could
sure.
But could we not have picked, I don't know, whoever was naming this thing, could we not have picked like Terra? Fine. Hey,
Hey.
cool. I got Terra.
Earth.
But just flop.
But then you
Like-
lost me with the flop.
Bill Gates didn't die for us to not use the phrase teraflops. Okay,
Bill Gates dead?
don't worry
He's
about
alive.
it. Don't worry about
Steve
it.
Jobs.
Don't worry about it, man.
He's
Let me tell you
alive.
what.
I haven't spent half my life on Al Gore's internet. May he rest in peace.
Okay, so but Microsoft did it again this year, where they're like, they had this. I sat there with my phone, like,
Dude, it's a
just
long
with-
video.
with bated breath, waiting for like something, and all these, first of all, old people were on the screen. It was all these older people, all these 50+ people who
You
were
guys
like,
didn't know Will's ageist.
what? No, ages.
What's up, man? Old people can't do anything
It was
anymore.
all these 50+ people, and they're like, we have put in the next. I'm just kidding about that. we got we got Master
Will-
Roshi out there being like, "Yo, the next Xbox is good." That's a terrible Roshi. Hang on.
Will, please do the just do a video where you redo the entire trailer, man. But in only Dragon Ball Z voices, man.
Yeah, it's like, when you see all the teraflops we got in here, it's gonna be great. Anyway, moving on. The point is they they did it again. But they're like, all these people are talking about all the 8K. Mike said it earlier. Like, what is even 8K capable or whatever they? What
Well,
they
it's
say?
double
They
4K.
said it was
Andrew's
like
gonna-
capable of 8K
Here,
output
here.
or something.
Andrew's about
Pull
to
out your calculator.
Andrew's about to
4,000, which is 4K. You just multiply it by 2, and there's your 8K.
Andrew, you're about to buy a
Besides that, I have no idea.
you're about to buy a 8K TV, man.
Yeah, but they're talking about 8K,
They're like $30,000, man.
you
That's
know,
a
like,
car.
hey, this can 8K, whatever, blah blah. Then they're like showing this like it's like they're doing all,
computer
no, but they're doing all these like cool like, oh man, was this like the edge of the console? They're gonna show you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's like, oh wait, what's that? That's kind of a weird angle. Like maybe it's this really cool new console. Then it just says Project Scarlet and tells you nothing. At least had the decency to call like Xbox 2 or Xbox. I don't know what you call it, but you know what I'm
So is
saying.
it going to
Like,
be red?
Scarlet's a weird. It's definitely a
Why'd
weird.
you
But it's
choose
like
that name
at least
choice.
PlayStation was like, "Hey, we're making the PlayStation 5." And
yeah,
now,
they lucked out. Like they
Yeah.
kept the course.
Yeah.
Because Xbox cannot release the Xbox 4
No.
next year when PlayStation does the PS5 because
Right.
stupid
Right.
people will be like, well, I don't want the.
Honestly,
I
I
don't want the
really,
old.
I do feel like any name for the next Xbox is going to be better than Xbox One.
well,
I feel like that was
They
a
really
really
did a bad job. when
really
they,
weird
well,
choice
they went
for
from
a
Xbox
console.
to Xbox 360.
and then to Xbox One.
What,
Like,
what-
I
first of
was
all,
not
no,
a big
no,
fan of that.
They set themselves up horribly with 360.
They did,
What,
they did.
First of all, what did that even mean?
300.
Is that just saying like you just we just spun around and we're right back to where we were
That's
started
that's
from?
Microsoft, man. XP, Vista, like
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
the
let's
best
be
at
real
naming
though.
things.
I'm definitely excited about a new console because I didn't jump on the Xbox One X train.
Right.
Which means that I'll probably just go ahead and wait for this new guy
And
go
I
ahead
probably
and go for this
won't
guy.
buy the new one because I bought the One X for me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
as far as I understand it, it's all forward and backwards compatible now. So
Well,
Right.
and
It's
that's and it's and which is nice, and it's
They talked about like the idea of like pretty much no loading screens. Like that's cool. That's
Yeah.
an innovation for sure.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Less
Yeah,
loading
I
screens.
mean, I've
is
had
great.
a solid state drive on my computer for like years, but it's fine, man. Finally, after a decade, you put one in a console.
But no, but I mean,
No,
but
that's a good point.
But no, but that goes back to like great point of like what else can they do? Like 8K resolution, is that enough for me to buy? You know, I mean, dude, because games look right now, they look great. Like
They're
I mean,
beautiful.
And I'm
we
sure
were
that
saying
somebody
that
sat
stuff.
there.
We were saying that stuff 15
I was
years
about to
ago,
say,
man.
I'm sure somebody sat there with the PS2 and like, what else can
it's
they
all
do?
relative.
You know,
It's all relative, bro. It's
But I mean-
relative to where you're at.
They didn't really say anything that that actually stuck them to anything. They were like, we're looking at 120 frames per second. There's no guarantee that that's every
Right.
game. It's going to be very, very few games.
No,
They're
for
like
sure.
8K output.
There will
So-
be like that one Rise Son of Rome game that's like
Oh,
just an
man.
8-hour campaign, but it runs at 120 frames per second,
Okay,
and it's gorgeous. True story, by the way. That is a gorgeous
That game is gorgeous.
for
Yeah.
for a launch title.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap. Like it's not
Yeah,
fun to play,
but it's
but
real
it's
pretty.
but it's gorgeous. Okay.
all of Xbox's conference, I felt like it was so many cutscenes or like trailers.
It was like cinematic trailer
Yes,
after cinematic
there was no
trailer, yeah.
gameplay in almost anything, and it was
Yeah, they didn't
kind of
want any
disappointing.
glitches.
Let's
Take
They
it
didn't
on.
want any,
Well,
they
they
didn't want
don't
any
have-
vans stuck in fences.
They don't have any gameplay. It's all just like trailers.
Well, let's take a positive note on it, dude. That Game Pass drop they put out, dude. They dropped a lot of great games on Game
Yo,
Pass.
that was a big win for them.
Yeah.
Huge
a
win.
lot of great games dropped on Game Pass.
and opening the PC one up. That's
Yes.
really cool too.
Yes,
Get Game Pass for
absolutely.
PC. Let's just be real. Project Scarlet's cool and everything, but the most important part of the Project Scarlet announcement is the fact that they're going to launch their new console
with Halo.
With Halo,
which I thought was very cool.
that was an awesome way
that
to
was
like
awesome.
end the show.
It
Amazing.
Was, it was
It
because
was good.
it launched, of course, and then Halo 3, like it didn't launch the 360, did it? Did Halo 3 launch the 360?
I thought it did. Am I
I,
wrong?
I cannot remember.
I'm not sure. I remember that I had it. Well, no,
I do know that Halo 3 sold the 360. Like
it did.
more than
easily.
anything.
Yeah.
Easily.
But I don't remember. Did it not come out?
No,
wasn't
I don't
Halo,
think. No,
wasn't
I don't
Halo
think it
5 kind of a Xbox One launch title?
did. Halo
no,
5.
that was the
no.
Master Chief Collection,
No.
buddy.
No, and that
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
even that. I mean, the Master Chief Collection didn't come out until probably a year after the Xbox One was out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of
Um,
Titanfall was a Xbox One.
Yes.
Launch title.
Ish. Yeah. The true Xbox One launch title was like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Call of Duty,
Oh, okay.
Ghosts.
That's
yeah, 'cause
right.
it's like the three
Because
games
I actually
you could
played
buy.
Black Flag on the 360.
Yeah, it was like the three games
Same
you could
here.
buy when it came out. Okay, but yes, okay, so let's talk about the Halo trailer. Okay, the Halo trailer drops. I thought story-wise, like I really enjoyed maybe where they're going story-wise.
Yeah.
IGN put out a thing. It's like a spiritual reboot. I don't know what was going on.
I like
I mean,
the fact that
they-
it's a mystery.
Yeah, and they gave themselves a bunch of like freedom saying, hey,
Yes.
this is in the future. Hey, the Halo was destroyed. You don't know how much time has passed. The story writers of 343 can kind of do what they want
Right.
because a lot of people I think were frustrated with the emphasis on Locke and the
Yes.
what's the team name?
Fireteam Osiris.
Yeah.
Yes, Osiris. I don't think a lot of people connected with the other members of Chief's team.
They're going back to the
Yeah,
roots.
Just
which
Chief,
they
yeah.
should. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, Halo is Master Chief and Cortana.
I
I-
wonder
I-
if co-op will be 4 Chiefs.
I don't know, but that's what I was going to say.
They're going back to four-player split screen.
Right, I saw that. I do appreciate that they did use those characters to do a 4-player like co-op. I did appreciate that about Halo 5.
I love that too.
That you all were somebody else.
What's it called? The revive system and stuff. I thought that was great.
I did think that was cool. And even if you played, I mean, like, let's be real. I mean, even if you did play as some nameless, but there's no, I don't know. It's interesting to see what they do. I feel like
as long as they don't change anything about the movement in that game, from Halo 5, because the movement in Halo 5 is absolutely incredible.
I don't know. Let's talk about it, okay? I really hope Cortana's gone as the enemy. I hope that's not. I thought Cortana as the enemy was very clever, right? I thought it was like a clever.
I liked it too.
I thought it was like a clever move. I just don't know how you continue that. I don't.
Do you create like a sort of like destroyed future where you have to now deal with the consequences of letting Cortana get away?
I mean, maybe there's something to do with it, because he takes the chip, puts it in the back of his helmet, and then
it's empty.
And it's empty.
Yeah.
And you have a whole like thing where you hear her voice and they're talking, and I mean, because they're going to do something with it. But but it's like,
I mean, I really hope they have more of an emphasis on the Flood for this one, because I really felt like that is the enemy that I liked the most from the original trilogy.
Right.
It'll be interesting. I mean,
whatever they do, I'm going to love it. I mean,
Cortana as the enemy was a little. It just didn't feel
well.
Yeah.
Warden Eternal was the biggest like that you hear me complain about that every time we talk about Halo 5.
If they
didn't bother me, man.
They really
you
should
had to
have
fight him like 7 times.
It only bothers you because you had to beat Legendary solo, man.
Yeah, I sure did. I think I cheesed the final. I found a way to like sit under one
hide
ramp
in a corner.
shoot.
That's where you sit back on the ramp and just your little forehead is peeking up over.
Yeah.
Like, pew,
if I heard Nathan
down.
Fillion one more time, be like, I'm down over
Need
here.
a revive.
Need a pickup. I'm like,
Need a pickup.
Just die, Nathan. I'm done. Okay.
Harsh.
What else? Oh. Go ahead. No, go.
The Nintendo announcement.
Yes.
The big one was the sequel is in development for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
For Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was really unexpected.
Really unexpected, right?
Yeah,
it took about 18 years to make the last.
They're on about an 8-year clip for a new game.
Yeah.
And the hope, I assume people are hoping this is going to be like Majora's Mask was to Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64, which took like a year and a half between releases because they reused all the same assets.
Right.
It's in the same map. It's got the same like assets. So hopefully it's not going to be a huge wait. Nobody really knows yet, but that was really surprising.
Man. I hope not. Like I felt like they missed the boat by not doing extended story DLC for that game. And I know Nintendo doesn't do that a lot with
Nintendo doesn't do story
they don't
much at all. Come on.
But I mean you look at like, man,
Will had his own headcanon for all those Guardians, man. Come on.
oh man.
If they'd have released like a Witcher 3 length DLC where it's like its own content, I feel like they could have sold that easily, like for $30 a pop.
Absolutely. I'd have bought it. I daily think about buying the expansion pass they have now for it. And I'm like, it's only more what do they call those?
Shrines?
More shrines and a motorcycle I can ride. And that's it. But I'm like,
that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they didn't do that because they knew they were going to try to release the second one.
Yeah. I really hope that's soon. I would kill for them to do a Nintendo Direct in the next few weeks and be like, holiday this year. Like it's as
I assume my guess is the earliest we'll see it is next year at holiday, 2020 December.
Yeah.
Like
You got to have something to compete with Halo, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, but honestly, Nintendo doesn't really compete with Microsoft at all.
With anyone.
No.
Like they don't really care.
They don't care. They got enough money. They don't care. They're not even in the console war at this game. Like they take chances. I mean, the Switch could have flopped big time.
Well, not to mention Xbox has been helping Microsoft has been helping Nintendo with their online stuff, with the Game Pass stuff and everything. And they let Banjo-Kazooie.
I smell a crossover, man.
I mean, they let Banjo-Kazooie into Super Smash Brothers. That was the other announcement, which is a Microsoft property now. So
yes.
Really?
Maybe they're getting friendly. Rare is owned by Microsoft.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'm not mad at that.
I think Microsoft recognizes that like being
Dude,
inclusive
Yes.
and like you see with the Game Pass,
It's better.
they're releasing all their PC games on their own platform and on Steam.
Yeah.
It just seems like they're kind of leaning more into the consumer friendly
Dude,
like
spiritual reboot, man. Master Chief takes that helmet off and Yahoo!
Oh God. Oh God.
no, and he hops out and he's the height from the games. He's just in like a mech suit.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's the end, man.
Dude,
It's been me, a Mario.
the whole time.
343 is like, man, you think we ruined Halo? Fine. Here.
Here's one for
You don't like what we made
Yeah.
before? Fine.
Hey,
Right. Or just worse than that, man. Just Sony gets in there and just Crash Bandicoot hops out of that old helmet.
Or Zarya from Overwatch. You're like, oh, that's what she sounds like.
Okay, cool.
Hey, you guys might not give a crap about this. I'm not sure how many of you guys played it when it first came out, but I am legit pumped about the Final Fantasy VII remake.
I never played that game.
Dude,
Is that the
you-
one? Is
you-
that the
you
one?
missed out,
Is that the
man.
one with the guy
Cloud
with
and
the
Sephiroth.
giant sword?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like the
It's
sword.
the quintessential Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I never played that.
And it literally, I mean, it looks
that was the old. That was the
unbelievable.
old 2 to 3 discer on the PlayStation.
Oh,
right?
it was it was a multiple disc
you knew,
game.
You knew you were getting into it in PlayStation days, and you got those big old thick cases.
Legendary.
Got them
That
big
case is dummy thick.
got them big old chunky cases.
I remember.
Drew looks bored out of his mind
One
right
of
now,
my-
by the way. Drew is literally on his phone.
Do
He's
you
not
think
even
we
paying
could have one more fantasy? All right, but this is the Final Fantasy.
Dear God. All right, just
My
go
God.
back
Go,
to
you know what? Go back
Reboot.
to your phone.
But no, it looks
Remake.
gorgeous,
Is it a
and
reboot or a remake?
it's a remake.
It's a remake.
It's a remake.
Yeah, man. But if you want to talk about
the
that reboot,
finalist.
but if you want to talk about that reboot cartoon from the '90s, I'm in, man. I'll
Oh,
talk about reboot all day
absolutely.
long, man.
I would encourage you to get the game when they do remake it.
Okay.
And it does come out because it's an incredible storyline, awesome characters.
Well, they're definitely splitting it into like 3 games now.
Oh,
I don't know if you knew
Oh,
that.
seriously?
Yes.
Oh, I had no
I
idea.
have no idea how they're going to do the like splitting the time, but they're making I think 3 games out of it.
wow.
So
All
that
right.
game's I don't think that game's ever coming out, man. It's going to be like 2030 and we're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's been
maybe
delayed a
next
couple
year.
times, but
Okay.
we're actually seeing gameplay now, which is nice.
That is true.
That's cool.
Hey, got a Peter Jackson that thing, man. Oh, The Hobbit. Yeah, we can make we can make
Rich
we can
out,
make
man.
3 movies out of
God.
that, man.
Mike, what about we talked about this a little bit earlier today. I'm really excited for Link's Awakening. I know that was announced already, and I don't think they do a little bit more into it at E3. Did they? Because that was like
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they did.
You boys love your Zelda.
I am not
I
excited
do.
about that game at all.
I
man.
am.
It looks like my first Zelda for like little kids, man.
No,
I
but
don't
it
know.
was
Aw.
come on. But I mean, that's the Super Nintendo Zelda look. I loved Link to the Past. I thought
I-
that was such a great game.
Link's Awakening.
Link's I know Link's Awakening,
Oh,
but
yeah. Link
now,
to the Past. Was
now
good.
that it's
Link's
in
Awakening.
color,
Link's Awakening was great. I had it on the Game Boy.
I
and
never
it
played
was,
Link's
It was
Awakening.
a lot of fun for sure. I don't know. I don't really like remakes for the sake of remakes, and it
Yeah.
seems like it looks really, really good. But for me, I've played the game, so for
Yeah.
me, it's not as big of a draw. I guess some people are really excited, and that's great. And a lot of people didn't play that game. It's not like everybody had that game like Link to the Past or Ocarina
Right.
of Time.
I never played
So-
it. I didn't play it at all.
I mean, yeah, it's another. I'm glad they're doing different things.
What about let's talk about
I was gonna say, can we real quick talk about, because I'm just now remembering as I'm kind of looking back through a couple of these games, like the and it wasn't announced at E3, but like you've got the new Rage 2 game coming out. You've got
Rage 2 is out.
Rage 2
already.
is out.
it's out already.
Yes.
So you've
Rage
got
2 is out.
Deathloop. You've got this game.
Deathloop is
this
out.
new, huh?
Deathloop is out.
It's out.
Deathloop's out. Rage
that
2 is
right?
out. Name another game.
So I'll tell you Rage 2 while you
I'm
it
just
says
kidding.
check these.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you are? Okay, I was like, oh my
Deathloop's-
gosh.
Rage 2 is out. Deathloop is not out. I was waiting for you to keep naming games, and
so-
but it's not funny. It's when you have to explain the joke, as
I was-
Mike says, it's not funny anymore.
I genuinely believed you, man. That's
That's fine.
how I trust you. But and then they announced this. One of the big Microsoft reveals was this game called The Outer Worlds. Dude,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like every game is trying to be Borderlands right now.
Well, I mean,
Have you guys kind of caught that? Like either
Yeah.
every game's trying to be Borderlands, or there's another huge IP that was announced that's apparently like a third person, but it's just another like hero shooter, like Overwatch type game.
Yeah, that was Microsoft, one of their
Yeah.
their studios.
Yeah,
that was
that's-
clearly we want some of that Overwatch. money.
Yeah, it just yeah,
Bro,
it just was kind of like, I don't know. I
They're
saw
like,
the
look
outer,
at our cast of zany characters, and you're
Yeah. The Outer Worlds trailer. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, new IP, like brand new game." They're open. I think they opened the show with it. I was like getting super excited, and then I was like, "Oh, it's like Fallout and Borderlands kind of put together," you know. So I didn't think there was a lot of originality with that. We didn't talk about, by the way, Keanu Reeves.
oh yeah,
yeah, that was like out of the blue,
Yeah.
And
like
awesome.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
people got so excited about it, and if you'd have told me 3 years ago that, like, man, they're going to show Keanu Reeves in a game and people are going to go nuts, I'd have been like, Keanu Reeves, man, isn't he dead? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Keanu Reeves.
Al Gore and
he's
Keanu Reeves.
never
man.
gonna
How
die,
long ago
man.
was it that Keanu Reeves was literally like synonymous with Nickelback?
I mean,
No,
it was maybe what 10 years ago.
Everything before
John
John
Wick.
Wick. Before John Wick. Before John Wick, Keanu Reeves was he was a Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he needs to. Whoever his agent was that got him that role.
Yeah.
I mean,
I haven't seen John Wick yet,
Legend
but
of
I
Wiz.
know for a fact
Oh, it's
that
so
that's
good.
the
I
reason
bought.
that he is
I
now.
got 1
Yeah.
and 2.
the name of that game is Bleeding Edge, by the way. That's
Oh,
the-
okay.
That's
Oh.
Yeah, John Wick is great. I've seen just the first two. I did not watch the
No
third one
spoilers.
yet, but first
They're
one
great.
is it's just like it is the perfect movie, a perfect example of that type of movie, which
Yes.
is kind of a weird thing to say, but like it's
Yes.
exactly what you want from some type of like
It is
action.
the American Japanese action film. It's like
Yeah,
an
it's like a
Americanized
John Woo
Japanese
type of-
action
yeah,
film.
yeah, it's a good
An
way to
Americanized
describe it.
Bong Bak.
And here's the thing. I hadn't seen 3. 3 got great reviews, right? John Wick 1 was excellent. I feel like they didn't expect it to do great, and then it did great, and then they're like, we might as well make a second one. Because the second one lacks a little bit of like that finesse
It's the,
of the
it's the
first
Matrix
one.
Reloaded of the.
I did hear the third one
of
was
the
a
Keanu
lot
Reeves
better.
trilogy.
The third
Yeah.
one was a lot better than the second
But
one.
when
Okay,
you look
yeah.
at reviews of it, like you look at Rotten Tomatoes,
It's reviewed
and
very
it's
well.
just they all three are
Dude, they're super
extremely high.
fun movies. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
They are.
you're talking
And I-
90s on all.
and I
three
think
of
that's
them,
why
like
everybody got
90,
pumped
I
about
think, is
Keanu being
about right.
in this game. And he looked really cool too, by the way.
He looks awesome.
Didn't he call you Samurai in the game? Does he call you
I think
Samurai?
that might be like your character name, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, yeah. I
Yeah.
have to
Kind of like
check it
there's
again.
like Shepard. Like
Yeah.
you're
what was his
you have
name?
a
Like
custom
Johnny
character.
Fusion, I think his name was.
I didn't.
That was Keanu Reeves' character.
Johnny Fusion.
Yeah, something
maybe
ridiculous.
maybe
That
I'm
sounds
not
like
right.
something out of
He's
Back
got-
to the Future.
He's got like a robot arm
Yeah.
and everything. It's great.
It's
Johnny
gonna be good,
Fusion.
Are you
man. I'm
guys-
so excited.
Are you guys pumped about the Avengers? The new Avengers game. It's
Okay,
kind of
this
a
is
third-person action.
Oh, so it's apparently I don't know if this is true. I didn't
a
really
co-op
check again.
co-op third-person
Is
action
it?
game.
I've heard that it's supposed to be kind of a part of the Sony Spider-Man game, the PS4 game.
Ooh.
Like
Really?
it's kind of a shared game universe. I'm not 100% sure, but I was
That's pretty
reading
cool.
rumors about that. I didn't actually see.
You
the
really ought to
trailer.
watch the trailer. It's a cinematic trailer, but it's
No, I'll
really
watch
really
it.
cool.
'Cause
looking.
you were talking
it
about-
has some gameplay in it.
You were telling me I missed that because that's Square Enix, right?
Square Enix.
I missed that, and I missed the Dragon Ball game you guys were telling me about.
Yeah.
The Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Yeah, Kakarot. I missed the Dragon Ball Z game, which you know me,
super
man. I
Dragon
love-
Ball Z-ish.
Kind of weird because in the trailer for the Marvel
Avengers?
game, the Avengers game, I guess the setup is that somehow like Captain America like dies in some cataclysmic event in the trailer. Like that happens.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so I guess that's like the setup for the game, but it's apparently 4-player co-op, and it's going to
Cool.
be what I read was an ever evolving list of characters in a changing world. So.
Okay, so is it like a top? So is it a top down?
No, it's it. Have you seen like the videos where they've made like, oh, how crazy would it be if there was like an Iron Man simulator game? Looks like that.
Yeah, it's called
I
Anthem.
mean, it looks like the Spider-Man game, or even kind of the Batman
Okay.
games.
Yeah, it's like an
Oh,
Arkham
that's
Knight.
awesome.
Third-person
A
action
four
kinda game.
player,
Yeah, and you
four-player
play the
co-op?
different Avengers.
Oh no, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
great.
just imagining like Arkham Knight or Spider Man or something like that with
Somebody's
multiple
Hulk,
play. Oh yeah.
somebody's
Oh my God,
Iron Man,
yes.
somebody's Thor. Yeah, it's cool.
So okay, we don't have a lot of time left here, but mostly because I see all my married friends checking their watches and phones. I'm
Nah,
married.
man,
I'm
I
okay.
got nothing to do.
I'm married too. We're just at my house, and Mike's my neighbor now, so it works out really well that we can just record here in the home studio and
It's true.
So let's talk about a developer or a publishing studio. I don't even know what to call the people anymore. Ubisoft. What would you call it? What I get the terms
publisher.
wrong all the time.
I was-
EA, Ubisoft, are these publishers? Is this what we're saying?
EA
Publishers.
and
So-
Activision are both publishers. I
Yeah.
think Ubisoft develops and publishes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I was really, really disappointed that they didn't reveal the next like full Assassin's Creed title, because apparently it's like a Viking Assassin's Creed game.
Oh yeah, I guess they
and
did.
they've kind of like leaked some details, a little bit of details about that, and I was really, really hoping they'd at least give us a little taste of that.
yeah.
So I was bummed about that.
But what was because fill me in once again. Embarrassingly enough, I came to this E3 podcast.
Well, you were actually there,
well,
like working.
Well,
so
I was
that's why you
working,
missed
so I
a
didn't
lot.
get to see it all. But like Ubisoft came out, there's a Assassin's Creed story creator, something like that.
Yeah, it looks weird. Do you? So apparently, it's their like version of like a Breath of the Wild type game. I see a lot of people in the comment sections on
Okay.
the trailers going like, "Oh, it's Assassin's Creed Breath of the Wild, basically," and
Okay.
it's like a very cartoony looking. It's based on Greek mythology.
Okay.
Basically, it's the guys who made Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was a very well liked
Yeah,
and
yeah.
well reviewed game, and they're making like an adventure game, like a cartoony looking adventure game called Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about Rainbow Six Outbreak? That's what it's called, right?
Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Rainbow Six Quarantine.
Quarantine.
So Outbreak was the mode in Rainbow Six Siege, which was apparently like sort of a proof of concept for them
Huh.
to make this PvE sort of zombie type of game. But
And this is not an add-on to Rainbow
nope,
Six.
it's its
an-
own game, and it had Vigil and who's the green-haired girl? Zofia?
No, oh God, no. Zofia is the one that you can get yourself up.
It's her friend.
God, yeah, the girl who throws the sticky mines.
Yep.
God, what is her name?
Well, all I know, man, is they better have glass, man.
What weird characters to pick? Vigil and that's gonna bug.
And old green-haired girl.
That's gonna
Zofia,
bug the
man.
heck out of me. It's not
Xenon the
Zofia.
sequel, man.
Yeah, we'll call her Xenon.
Yeah, I don't know,
Xenon's fine.
but
Okay.
I mean, so it's interesting, something different.
Okay, Ubisoft Plus. It's their subscription service. Hundreds of games and their DLC. $15 a month.
Boo.
At what point are people just gonna run out of money? Like you gotta buy Netflix.
You kind of have to
You
pick.
gotta
and
buy
choose, man.
Amazon. You
Yeah.
gotta buy Hulu.
It's
You
ridiculous,
gotta buy
man.
game. You
I'm
have
sorry,
to-
but one
Game Pass. You got
one
Xbox Gold, Ubisoft Gold,
one developer
Um,
should not.
EA Gold.
It's ridiculous that one developer is like, we have enough great content for our own streaming
Seriously.
service. That's
Monolith
ridiculous.
Gold,
I mean, because you could do
Hulu
Game
Gold.
You can do Game Pass. You can do EA Access. You can do this Ubisoft thing now, and Xbox Live Gold, where you get your free games. You can do that for, and that's like all you'd really need.
And if
but
you
you're paying
have
a
that
lot.
much time to play that many games,
Yeah.
like, good lord.
Did you hear
At some point you have to
Did you
go to
hear
work,
Battlefield?
right?
You hear Battlefield 5 hit EA Access. That's one thing they announced at
Yeah,
the
that's
thing.
really
Yeah,
cool.
which I really want to. I watch people play that this week. It looks really good. Like it's
one of
another
the, one of the
Battle-
guys I work with, that's the only game he plays.
I mean, Battlefield. If between Call of Duty and Battlefield, I like Battlefield more. It's just the skill level I feel like is a lot greater. Like there's just like you can get. I mean, you could you get the floor wiped with you in Call of Duty too if you're not.
Yeah,
playing
but
it.
I think it's easier to pick up and play. Battlefield
Yes.
does feel like there's more of a learning curve.
Well, yeah, Battlefield, dude. You
so
have to
much
do like
strategy with
well,
Battlefield.
you got to do like clicks of your sniper rifle and stuff, where it's like you adjust your Call of Duty,
And you
just-
have like items. It's like, oh, I
Yeah.
gotta use my syringe on this down
Yeah,
guy, and you're like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Well,
In Call of
It's
Duty,
like-
all I have to do
it
is
get-
not a shoot and teabag, and that's it.
it gets
show
it
me
get-
show me the shoot button and the teabag clicker, and I'm
it
good
gets
to go.
goofy with the Battlefield games, like it did back in the old Solid Snake days, man, where your hand was real shaky when you were trying to snipe. You had to smoke a cigarette real quick to get your
Oh,
hand
dude.
to stop shaking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when
You remember
realism
that?
goes too
Yes.
far.
Yes.
Now I can do it.
You have to make sure you eat your vegetables in the morning. Your hands get a
Oh.
little shaky.
Oh,
No, that
like
was
that-
no, that was
that-
Fable.
oh,
Dude,
no,
that
that-
was Fable,
No,
man.
that was Red Dead. We need to wake up and drink your coffee and
You
stew
gotta have your stew before you
at
go.
8 a.m. Gotta have your rabbit
Oh,
stew.
man.
It's like there's so many alternate endings to Red Dead Redemption. It's like, yeah, that's just because you live a normal life and try not to die in the wild Wild West. Like,
yeah, man.
Like the end of your game is you got trench foot, and the infection just eventually killed you.
The new
You
dysentery,
got the
man.
Burke, man.
Yeah.
You got the old tuberculosis.
You got dysentery and
Did you
died.
say Trenchfoot? In which game?
No,
Red
it's-
Dead
It's all
Don't
interested
get
in
trench
now,
foot
man.
in Red Dead?
I'm kidding.
That's literally what you'd get in Battlefield.
I know. I'm kidding.
It's like a World War II thing. Okay, so question.
How dare you? How dare you?
So in the Battlefield vein, never played it. Assume it's a World War II first-person shooter. is that right?
Battlefield 5 is World War II. It's World War II, yeah.
Okay.
Is-
before it was World War One. So
Yeah, so
Very
okay,
confusing.
So Battlefield went Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. That
like you do.
like you do.
Got that old Xbox name and
Naturally.
scheme.
Yeah, we need to
Numbers
stop
don't matter
this.
anymore.
These people
there's-
need to be stopped.
So you guys probably don't know what this game is. I used to play this game. This was back high school, so this is
Medal of Honor.
15 years
Medal
ago.
of Honor.
Still a game, still being played. It's an MMO FPS called World War II Online, and if you look it up, it is a one server.
What?
Okay, so everybody plays same world. As far as I know, there's only one server, one world,
Okay.
and you are literally playing with all these other thousands of people, and you're like moving the lines, and basically you choose to be either on the Axis side or the Allies side, and you can get tanks, you can get infantry, you can get planes, you can get all these different things. You can do all these different types of missions and stuff, and you coordinate with your friends, and you all decide like, hey, we're gonna get on at this time, and then we're gonna rush this city, and you can go capture cities and move the lines
Well, this sounds fun.
across. If you look it up,
Sounds
it's
pretty awesome.
honestly great game idea. this is something that I don't think has been done on console by any games, and I'm a really big fan of MMO games just because there's a lot more camaraderie to it than just
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, that sounds like
you know
a
what I'm
lot of
saying?
fun.
That sounds
Something like that, whether it was in Star Wars, Star Wars world, or if
That'd
it was
be
in
fun.
the
That would be awesome.
World
Oh,
War
that'd
II
be fun.
world, something like that, where let's say you get a map, you get up on your game, and you have a map, and you see exactly what worlds certain
Where
whether
you're the rebellion versus
Exactly.
the empire
Oh,
trying
exactly.
to take over
So-
like
so
different
exactly
areas
you're trying
of
to
space.
fight back, and so everybody kind of picks a side, and
Man, some people are like, "Yo, I'm really good at fighter squadron, so like I'm gonna do the sky
Yeah.
battles."
Yes.
While other people are like, "I'm
That's tight,
taking
man.
the ground
Well, especially if
battles."
it was all on one server, you'd start to recognize certain people.
Yeah,
And that'd be kind of cool.
yeah.
That would be really tight.
And if the other thing that's really cool too is there's a website, you can probably even look it up. They probably still do this if it's still being played, where you could see where everything was at that specific time. So you could see the map of Europe, because it was only Europe. It was never the the Pacific theater, but
Right.
it was always showing you the accurate like where things were, like what cities were captured, what cities are allied cities, and what cities were. And it was really cool, because then a lot of people would like, you get these kind of messages or notes that these people were creating these like, hey, we're gonna go and we're gonna all
do
attack
like a
this
big
one
raid
city,
on this one city.
giant raid where everybody gets on at the same time and goes and raids this city.
That's cool.
And then you find out it's happening. If the other team, the other side, sees it's going on, then everybody starts to respawn in that area, and it's just
that sounds
extremely
awesome. Our
unique.
friend group could never do that because
No,
we can't coordinate
can't
a
coordinate
podcast
like that.
weekly. So,
But
w-
since
little-
we're getting to
little-
the
So
end
we-
as well, and I've
we-
contributed very little, but I needed to say that whenever you guys start talking about something I don't understand, and I don't know what games you're talking about, which is about 94% of the time.
Sure.
This is exactly what I hear.
The original machine had a base plate of pre-famulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fam. The lineup consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic Marsal vanes.
Okay.
Lunar wane shaft.
What?
I don't think they.
None
I think
of that makes,
that.
that's gibberish, man. That's hilarious.
What is that?
It's just straight gibberish,
That's
man.
good.
Every
It's
time
just straight
I
gi-
hear these games,
I just
and I'm
googled
like,
straight
oh, I think-
gibberish.
I hear these games. I'm like, I've heard of these games before. I never
Man,
played it, but I heard of it.
Well, okay.
Andrew's like, I know video games.
Logarithmic
I know
plating.
all these words this guy's saying, but
Well,
they don't make sense
on
together.
that note, we will wrap up, and let's just
On that
final-
note, since Will's spread eag right now on
Well,
his
final-
chair.
I'm just it's my home. It's my home. I can relax how I want to.
My
all
man's
right?
got one leg up on the
I
soundboard,
got one.
the other one on the ottoman.
which is
Living
just
life
which is
free.
just a
I'm
giant
sorry. I
Tupperware
thought this
container
was
of sound
America.
equipment. I'm
Very
sorry.
uncomfortable.
Thought this was my own house. I could
Hey, Will, why don't
lounge
you,
how I
why don't you
liked.
tell the people, man, what you did today, man, to sign us off, man? The purchase that you made today, man.
Yeah, I went and caved and bought a PS4 for the first
Yeah,
time.
you sure did,
Yeah,
didn't
I
you?
did.
Why don't you tell the people what's underneath your TV in there in your living room?
Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. So
Yeah, buddy.
I got a
Got-
problem.
you got
Okay,
the
I got a problem.
trifecta, man.
I got a problem.
That's awesome.
So
Do you
final.
work?
I do work. I work a lot
When do you
actually.
when do you find the time?
That's how he was able to get that
So I was
stuff.
able to get that stuff. So let's final thoughts on E3. Final thoughts. Anything that sticks out in your mind? I mean, I'll jump in and go first. You took a deep breath. Why don't we let you go first?
yeah, they
No, you
showed
did.
this game, man.
Okay,
And the
you're-
Wim Wham
Okay.
really connected
Okay,
with
cool.
the
Let's
Zim
just,
Zoom.
let's just
With the
forget.
logarithmic side
Let's forget
plating.
that. All right. So with thoughts, final closing thoughts from E3.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I'm literally I'm if there's a if there's $1,000 version where you turn into an Illithid yourself, I'm buying it.
Good God.
Let's just get it.
How many statues
I
you think
didn't
come
get
out
that.
of
Okay,
the
now,
$250
to
I didn't
to your
get any of
defense,
that.
I have no idea what
I-
an illithid is.
I don't know,
know.
man. Was that a flim flam or
Man.
That's the
a whim wham or
That-
what?
You guys are
Illithid,
uncultured
man.
swine.
yeah.
No,
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
guys-
That word
Bunch
up.
of plebs.
Okay,
No,
final thoughts from Mike on E E3.
Honestly, I don't feel like there was anything that they showed that was like, oh my gosh, now I'm excited.
Right.
A lot of the stuff I already knew about and I was already excited about. It was nice to see some trailers, but I don't know. I guess maybe I'm past the point where I'm like crazy excited. It's so easy to
BOTW2,
see.
right? That was a surprise, right?
Yeah, oh definitely. But even
What was-
that, I'm like, okay, I don't know anything about
the
this.
wall.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man, you got to get up on the.
So sorry, he hit me with that BOTW so fast. I was
even
like,
that,
what?
like, that's not coming out forever. Like, I
Well,
don't know
yeah,
when
no,
that's coming
okay,
out.
Okay, go back to you and I were talking about this the other day, or Trevor and I, somebody, we were no, maybe I was talking to the guys at EA. Like, the deal is I would love just once. Okay, I feel like, because I was going to pose this question to you guys, but I don't know if we had time. E3, I feel like each year gets less and less intriguing, or less and less because
Because of Al Gore's internet, man.
well,
Everything
because
gets
of-
leaked before the show.
because of leaks, because of like you're like, oh man, oh yeah, there's that thing I've been reading about on the internet for like 2 weeks. Oh, that did happen. The George R. Martin from software,
Elden Ring. Yeah.
the Elden Ring thing, like.
Gosh, that looks terrible.
Like just
Looks so
you know,
stupid.
Okay, honest to God, Breath of the Wild was my only surprise where I was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in
The
the
Keanu Reeves thing, that was like a total surprise. Like, there was no way anybody could have known that.
yeah, but it's
this
but,
is a little
but the
thing.
game. I mean, like Halo, we knew Halo. Halo Infinity got like announced last year.
Yeah, it got teased last year.
It got teased last year at E3. This year we got another tease,
That's
and it
just
comes
tease.
out. And but that's what sucks, right? Because like what I want them to do is
We'll
show
get some
that
gameplay in the spring because it's
What-
coming out next year.
what I want them to do is show that Halo trailer and then be like, it's available next month. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like okay,
The Apex Legends method,
The
where they
Apex
literally were
Legends
just like
thing, man.
3 days before
Okay,
it came out.
I was talking to some friends of mine the other day, and they were saying how they believe Apex, right? The reason that it worked so well is because you had zero time to think about what it was going to be, talk about it. Blogs didn't have time to tear it down or build it up, whatever. It's like, boom, it's out. And
Then everybody wants to be the first person to play it.
yeah, and they,
So you have like bajillion people playing the
right,
game.
and so
And it was free.
and it was
And it worked right away.
right.
Like
It was
just
yes.
huge.
Instant gratification.
Right.
Huge.
win for EA and Respawn, right? So, but what I'm saying is like there's nothing. The last time I saw them do anything like this at E3 was, honest to God, when they released the slim Xbox 360. When they took, because it was like the white console that we all knew,
And
right?
like it's available now or
and
something.
then they
right?
lifted it up, and inside the white console was like the skinny little like black hourglass figure one. And it's like, oh, and by the way, it's available next week. And like, and it was just one of those things where you're like, holy crap!
The wow factor.
It's the wow factor. You know everything that's going to come out. Everything that they tease is 2 years or more out from what they're going to do. Hit up Breath of the Wild and be like, oh, and it comes out literally in, I don't know, like they did with Mario Maker. I never even expected Mario Maker at all. And they're like, oh, it's available in June, and you're like, oh, cool,
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo can get away with that because they got more money than anyone.
Right.
Like, they print money with some of
Right.
their franchises, but there's other ones that can do that. I mean, you don't think that 343 they're going to take their time and release it when it needs to be released?
Honestly,
or
I-
Cyberpunk, they made so much money off The Witcher 3.
No, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm just saying, like, we all know their work. From the moment Halo 5 came out, we all knew they're working on the next Halo. That's what 343 does.
Right.
What I'm saying is, show me a trailer, like literally. I'm talking about like the whole loose lips sink ships. Like, keep your freaking stuff tight. Like, don't let anybody get into your source code and like start digging around. And then literally release that trailer we just saw, or even the teaser, right? Like the teaser we saw last year. Release that Chief helmet coming down and be like,
this fall.
boom, this fall. People are gonna go nuts. People are gonna buy that game. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
They're on the hype that they have in the moment.
right. They're
Absolutely.
gonna buy that game.
Pre-order it right now in the Xbox store.
Right. Like I understand certain games, like, and maybe not even Cyberpunk, but let's take another game that got announced, like this Gods and Monsters thing, right? You need like a year of hype to build that up.
Sure.
Because nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what that does. But a game like Halo, okay,
It's got a built-in
dude,
community.
Borderlands 3. They did that with Borderlands 3. They announced Borderlands 3. It's available September, right? You saw zero on Borderlands 3 until PAX East.
Yeah, you had less than 6 months to think about
Yeah.
it. It didn't need it. It does not
No.
need any more advertisement.
Absolutely not.
By the way, can we play Borderlands 2, guys?
I would play Borderlands 2 with you anytime.
Lacey and I were doing that right before I came
They
down
released
here.
new DLC.
We were playing the new DLC.
Oh yeah, they that's awesome. By the way, they
Yeah.
released new DLC to get you
For
ready
free.
for the new game.
Also,
Yeah,
they
that's awesome.
announced. I mean, it was leaked a week before, but like they showed the trailer and they were like, "It's coming out in September." Oh yeah, Borderlands 2 DLC now. Like it's
Yeah.
it's free now. So
It's awesome.
That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
That probably gets them more advertisement than
Yeah, of course.
any of those teaser
Of course.
trailers. So
I think so. I feel like more of that in the future of
think-
gaming.
Eventually, E3 will probably go away, and each developer will do their own EA Play.
a lot of them are doing that.
Yeah. And they should.
EA does it. Sony does it. I mean,
they should.
Nintendo.
EA Play, what was great about that is, I will say, hats off to EA. It was a straight up fan fest. Like, they announced some
Yeah.
stuff, and like half of day one was the press conference. But the rest of it was like, come play our games, hang out,
and
It was
hang
a-
out and meet
Dude,
people,
it
meet
was
influencers.
It was a free event. It's a free event that you
Really?
yeah, EA Play is a free event. You download the EA Play app, you
That's
register
awesome.
for a ticket, and you walk in the door. EA put so much money into that thing, and there's literally no way to get a return on that. Everybody comes in for free.
Yeah,
They-
the return is that people have a great time and want to buy
Right.
your games. Yeah.
Of course.
And
You
let's
got
fa-
more control when
and
it's your own event.
And let's
too.
be real, EA can afford EA can afford that free event, man. After what they charged you for Darth Vader and Battlefront 2,
Nah,
man.
man.
Come
About
on,
a half
dude.
day of those
Be
like
real.
Madden Ultimate Teams.
They were
or
like,
the-
you could be Darth Vader in our game for an extra $30.
Well, to all the friends I made at EA Play who I told to listen to this podcast, I apologize.
Excited for the new one though. Excited for the new one.
Excited for Respawn and Jedi Fallen Jedi. All right, that's all the time we got.
It's Jedi Fallen Order. Sorry.
What did I say?
Respawn Fallen Jedi.
Google Stadia.
Oh, by the way, we were totally wrong about Google Stadia. We were,
Oh my gosh, man.
we were completely wrong.
I was listening to that podcast, man. Every fact we were like, well, clearly they're going to do this.
Well,
Nope.
yeah.
Wrong.
No,
wrong.
no.
Wrong.
Which, by the way, we'll save this for another episode. 'Cause we don't
Yeah.
have the time. I don't think that's going to work. I'm just going to be real with you. I don't.
Someone played a video, man, on stage. It had 2 seconds of delay time in the input. Remember we were talking about how, like,
Yeah.
man, I hope there's not some latency issues.
Yeah.
There's going to be. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be some.
and
latency
and
issues.
you're charging.
No, man, as long as you're running 100 megapixels per second, man.
And you're charging a monthly service. First of all, not everything's going to work when it comes out. It's going to come out, and it's only going to be the Google Chromecast. There's no tablet. There's no web browser. It's like
Right.
Google Chromecast on your TV. That's it, right? And
Chromecast Ultra.
and then you have to pay $10 a month and buy games. Yeah.
No, actually,
Mike is
you
yawning.
buy the games. The service is free. You pay basically like a subscription, and you get access to certain games, like
Okay.
kind of like Xbox
Yeah, it's
Live
a
Gold.
Game Pass
But you
situation.
basically have to buy the games, so it's like, I don't know, whatever.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Hey, listen, that's all the time we got for the 4 Plot Podcast. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Will.
I'm Mike.
We're gonna have to edit this a lot. Trevor.
Zulu.
Okay, God,
Uh,
that's
That
embarrassing.
podcast that ended and not with a bang, but with a whisper.
But with a. Oh God,
we love you.
Okay, we love you guys. See you next time on the 4 Plot Podcast. Today's music in the 4 Plot Podcast was brought to you, as always, by VGR. You can find them by going to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find your music, and search VGR or Video Game Remixes.